Nicholas Carr, The Glass Cage, How Our Computers Are Changing Us. Welcome to the world of automation, as vividly depicted in Nicholas Carr's The Glass Cage, How Our Computers Are Changing Us. Delve into how automation is affecting our daily lives, from GPS-assisted navigation to autopilot systems in aircraft, and explore its far-reaching consequences. Carr takes you on a journey into the past, present, and future of automation while covering key topics such as the Luddite movement, the rise of machines, technological unemployment, and the ethical dilemmas that arise from our reliance on automated systems. This summary will provide an engaging, informative, and thought-provoking overview of Carr's essential work, breaking down complex ideas and concepts into easy-to-understand language.
The pros and cons of automation. Today, automation is on the rise, and while it brings several benefits, it also has drawbacks. In this book, the author discusses how automation works, its impact on society, and its potential dangers. Automation has become a defining characteristic of the technology era. Google's fleet of self-driving cars, for example, has already driven almost 1 million miles safely on the roads of California. Scientists used to think that computers could only excel at explicit knowledge, such as making calculations, and not at tacit skills like navigating city streets or playing sports. However, Google's experiment with self-driving cars demonstrates that computers can now master skills that require tacit knowledge. As technology advances, programmers can automate more complex tasks, such as flying airplanes or analyzing financial statements. Despite its benefits, automation can take a toll on our work and our lives. It narrows our perspectives and limits our choices. While mechanization and automation have improved our circumstances tremendously throughout history, they have also given rise to something called technological unemployment. This joblessness results from a machine-led spike in productivity that can replace human workers with machines that don't require raises, vacation time, or sick days. Economist Paul Krugman believes that automation could further hollow out the middle class, and the concentration of wealth among the fortunate few who own the machines is already happening in the securities trading industry. However, automation is neither all good nor bad, and today's rise of the machine would cause Luddites to recoil with revulsion. The Luddites were English craftsmen who, in the early 19th century, set out to destroy machines mechanizing production at factories and textile mills. The Industrial Revolution continued anyway. Some people saw mechanization and automation as a utopian force, machines that would free laborers from mindless toil, allowing them to pursue artistic and intellectual endeavors. The book suggests that while the specter of automation looms large over our future, we should neither glorify it nor vilify it. It is essential to learn how automation fits into our world and how we can use it to improve our lives. In the worst cases, people become so trusting of technology that their awareness of what's going on around them fades completely. They tune out and are unable to see anything beyond the automated world they live in. Overall, this book offers valuable insights into automation, how it works, what it means for our society, and its potential dangers. We should embrace automation's benefits while being aware of its drawbacks and limitations. Automation and pilots, a complex relationship. Automation and data processing machines have significantly changed the way pilots fly planes, creating both benefits and risks. Automation has revolutionized the way commercial flights are operated, with software and data performing many critical functions that were once the sole responsibility of well-trained pilots. However, the relationship between automation and pilots is much more complex than it appears. Two incidents in 2009 involving autopilot systems, a Continental Connection flight in New York and an Air France leg to Paris, highlight the disastrous consequences that can occur when pilots fail to respond correctly to unexpected changes. Cockpit software has made it possible for airlines to reduce the number of pilots required on a flight, with two-pilot teams now being the norm. Moreover, automation has made roles such as navigator, radio operator, and flight engineer obsolete. However, This increased reliance on automation has degraded pilots' skills and made it harder for them to do their jobs without the assistance of autopilot. Over-reliance on automated systems has introduced unexpected risks and degraded pilots' manual flying techniques. While automation may have helped to reduce human error and improve overall safety, the downside is that pilots no longer need to be as skilled in operating their machines as they once were. Flying a plane has become a less romanticized profession, and pilots today have to learn to manage the complex interplay between machines and human decision-making. In conclusion, automation has significantly changed the way pilots fly planes, creating both benefits and risks. Pilots today must learn to work in tandem with data processing machines while preserving their essential flying skills. The dangers of automation. Automation changes the way workers interact with their jobs. They often trust computers over their own skills, leading to dangerous outcomes. The consequences range from an off-course cruise liner to a bus crash that injured passengers. Workers must maintain their judgment and use technology as a tool, not a replacement. The cost of automation's unintended consequences. Automation has been believed to enhance productivity while reducing human errors. It has led to the development of drones, self-driving cars, and advanced robots. However, the author points out that automation can be detrimental to humans. The use of technology can lead to slow erosion of expertise, reducing jobs, and steadily luring society towards a world of complacency and cluelessness. In this book, the author presents various examples, including the Inuit tribe hunters losing their skill and GPS technology leading them into dangerous situations, and doctors being unable to provide individualized treatment when relying on electronic medical records. Therefore, the author argues that misplaced trust in technology's ability to replace human intuition can make people dumber and subordinate to computers. The limitations of GPS. The rise of GPS technology has made navigation easier, but it also has its limitations. Using maps and our senses to navigate can stimulate our brain and form memories of our surroundings. On the other hand, relying on GPS can lead to a disconnect from our environment and even increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Additionally, as GPS technology expands to indoor environments, we may be losing opportunities to exercise our cognitive abilities. While GPS has its benefits, it is important to recognize the value of traditional navigation methods. Ethical systems for machines. As machines become more advanced, they are increasingly required to make decisions for us, but this raises concerns over their ethical decision-making abilities. For instance, in the case of a self-driving car, what does the car do when it comes across an obstacle in its path? Should the car prioritize the safety of its human passengers or the animal in its way? These ethical dilemmas form the basis of ethical systems, programming instructions that must be carefully spelled out for machines. This field will become even more crucial in high-stakes situations such as in military applications when an officer in control of robotic snipers must decide whether to take a shot or not based on a robot's data analysis. As machines become more prevalent in our lives, programmers must ensure that they are equipped with the ability to make ethical decisions with the same level of intuition as humans.
As we conclude our exploration of Nicholas Carr's The Glass Cage, we've witnessed the profound impact automation has on our lives, society, and surroundings. From the pilots whose skills are compromised by autopilot systems, to the Inuit people losing their survival instincts due to GPS reliance, the emergence of automation complacency and of automation bias are reshaping the way we interact with our world. We've also touched on the potential ethical conundrums that arise with the increasing dependency on automated decision-making and the effects of over-reliance on machines on our cognitive abilities. In examining the myriad consequences of automation, Carr offers us both a cautionary tale and an invitation to reassess our interaction with technology in our everyday lives.